What's up, my pilots? Poncho here. We're back playing Morrowind. In the last episode, we finished up the quest involving the Dwemer Puzzle Cube and Arnkland. And now we're back in Balmora.
What do you want?
Nothing from you, thanks. So we've got a bunch of junk, and I think I'm gonna sell some things. Didn't we find some valuables down there? Yeah, look, all the Dwemer coins and things we've got. So we gotta find some good places to go and sell this stuff. And then I think I might even make a trek back to that ruin and collect some of the armor and things that we found. Oh god, what? The sixth house is risen and Lord Dagoth is in his glory? I am a sleeper, one among thousands. I bring you a message. Dagoth calls you, Poncho, and you cannot deny your lord. The sixth house is risen, and Dagoth is in its glory. The sixth house? What? The sixth house, the sleeping house, House Dagoth, the house of Lord Dagoth. That was the word, wasn't it? The true house, the one house to welcome all true Dunmer and drive the Enwa from our land. What's your language? Rejoice and join us. Come to Red Mountain and prepare the way for his coming. You said that to me? Oh my god. Dagoth? What's Dagoth? He is the lord and father of the mountain. He sleeps, but when he wakes, we shall rise from our dreams. We shall rise from our dreams. Shall sweep our land clean of the Enwa. Why have you denied him? As Lord Dagoth has said, all shall greet him as flesh or as dust. Okay. That's a little weird. Alright. So he's a member of the sixth house, which was weird. Strange, man. I suppose we'll be learning more about those as we go along. We got a little bit of information from Hasfat.
About you, Outlander. Go ahead.
Oh, yes, I'm going to use the guild guide and go to Caldera, because I have someone I'd like you guys to meet. It's an absolutely delightful character in this game. I'd like to go to... Whoops. I'd like to go to Caldera, please. Zwarp.
Anytime now.
Is it raining out there?
You have something to say?
It sounds like it's raining here in Caldera, too.
What do you want?
Teleportation would be weird with the weather. It could be raining in one place and then you teleport somewhere else and it's not raining anymore. It would be a bit strange. Anyway, so here in Caldera, it's a fairly normal town. You got the castle up there, which looks really good, I might say, in this texture pack. And then, actually, the whole town looks pretty nice. These windows are added in, the new texture there. That looks really nice. There's a lot of attention to details. So is it here? Here it is. Gorak Manor in Caldera. This is the home of a very strange group of orcs. They live in this sort of mess of a house. Hello. I'm just gonna walk right past you guys. I don't want no trouble. And up here, they have a scamp living in the house.
Say your needs.
She apparently doesn't wear pants. Why don't you have pants?
Say your
Like,
business.
you know your armor only comes down in front. Okay, never mind. And you need to get a shirt
Speak
on.
quickly.
Hello, Creeper. I'm creeping. Okay. You can barter with him. He's got 5,000 gold. That's the second most of basically any shopkeeper in the game. Ancient Dagoth brandy. That's interesting. That's valuable, too. Anyway, I hear the rain outside. That's so cool. Yeah, I gotta sell him a bunch of junk we've got here. He doesn't buy shoes. Why don't you buy shoes, man? Fortify willpower. Oops, no. I'd like to keep the restore health potions. Thank you very much. Rising force. We'll hang on to that. What else do I want to sell him? I thought I had some... Oh, yeah, the coins. Look at that. I just dropped a whole 39 coins into his inventory and got 2,000 gold out of him already. We'll also sell... Oh, he doesn't buy books. Alright, fine. Here, take the Hellfire Scroll, too. I'm probably never going to use it. Cure common disease. I don't need 6 of those. I don't even need 1. I don't want it. Alright, let's see. Journeyman stuff. Soul gems. I'm not going to be doing much soul gem stuff. He doesn't buy keys. Alright, that's fine. That's fine with me. Oh, how about this nice spear I provided you? Cool. Let's see if I can get some more gold out of him. Alrighty. Fine. Be that way, Creeper. Oh, see, now he's starting to like me less and less. He's not gonna... I ended up taking out less from that. Oh well. So we just got about 3,000 gold out of him, which means we're up to... we're officially super freaking rich, which is nice. So, yeah, that's cool. How many repair hammers have we got? We don't have any, do we? Need to go to the Fighters Guild and get some more of those. Or find somebody I can buy them from. That was a nice sniffle there. Thank you very much. Yeah, so now that our encumbrance is much lower, I think I'm going to return to Balmora, and we're going to use that training trick to go ahead and raise our medium armor skill. Oops, that's not the Mages Guild. What are you doing? This is a clothing shop. Fanamo Clothia! Yeah, I don't need anything from you, because I already have armor for everything, so sorry, dude. I don't wear clothes. Are you not the Mages Guild? Yeah. I thought there'd be a sign out front.
Outlander,
Maybe I just didn't see the sign.
Yes, friend.
Yes, friend.
My patience. Shopping for enchantment.
Everybody wants to talk to you when you walk by. It gets kind of annoying after a while, actually.
So what's this regard?
Zoom! So we go right back to Balmora that quick. That was nice. That was very nice. Now you
I
have
suppose
spellmaking,
it is my
right?
duty to help those
Yes,
less
I'd like to
fortunate
make
than
a better
myself.
spell. So let me show you guys what spells we've been using. We have stuff like Fire Bite, damage 15 to 30 on touch, which is like, okay. So at like 0 fatigue, which is where we are right now, or 3 fatigue, we have 77% chance of casting it, which is pretty good. At a higher fatigue, of course, we have a much better chance. And if you haven't noticed, the bar beneath the weapon here is how durable it is, how much of its condition it still has. No, it's finally daytime, the music started. The bar beneath this is chance to cast. So, again, it's sort of a proportion of how much damage we would be doing. What are these books over here? I'm going to let my fatigue refill so we can actually get reasonable estimates of our ability to cast spells. This is a brief history of the Empire in 4 big books. Doesn't seem that brief to me. It fills up 4 books.
To help those less fortunate than myself.
Wow, you're an ass.
Looking for something in particular.
Galaron the Mystic. Fragment on Artium. Where were you, Dragon Broke? Where were you when the dragon broke? I don't know what that is. Must be a mod that added that book. Never heard of it before. Mages Guild Charter. Sure, why not? And I don't know if I ever showed, but there's beds over here in the Mages Guild too, and you're free to use those. Alright, our fatigue is pretty much full now, so check out...
What assistance do you need?
Our actual chance to cast is about 100% when those are full. And, you know, ranging for the other ones. Our mark chance is about half now, which is nice. Of course, we haven't changed it at all, have we? It's just having more fatigue that makes it more likely. That's nice. Alright, but either way, I'd like to have a more nasty spell here. So I'm going to try and put together something that's a little bit fun. It's going to be a target spell. And just going to try and do... I'm going to see how costly I can make these things. So that's 20 points of shock damage, but spread out over 4 seconds. And I'm also going to do... No, I'm going to do a little bit less than that. I'm trying to keep the cost low. I'm just going to do one of these for all 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 for 4 seconds. And it's only on one thing. That's fire. Now frost. Okay. So that's alright. It costs 42. That's a lot of magic, actually. And this does what? 16 times 3 is 42 damage? No, 48. Right? Yeah. No? Yeah, 48. So that's about 50, which is pretty decent, I guess. So let's see what that does. So that's 50, and it costs 42 points and a chance of 60. Let me try something a little different here. Let me do those 50 points in another way, like 7 over 7 seconds, and see what that does. Yeah, you see, look, oh no, hang on. Oh, 7 seconds. Yeah, see here, that's 49 points, so it's actually 1 point more. And it costs a lot less and has a higher chance to cast. So you're probably like, what's the difference? The first one had 3 different kinds of effect, and this one only has just the one kind. So if you only had one of these spells, then you kind of would be screwed because you would have to pick which one you wanted to use. And do not pick fire, just as a general rule of thumb. Being a fire mage kind of sucks in Morrowind because there's so many Dunmer. I think about half of the characters in the game are Dunmer, and they all resist fire 75%. So you want to use either shock or frost. But since Nords are immune to frost, completely immune, if you run up against one of those as a mage, they'll kick your ass because your spells won't do anything. So shock damage is a good alternative. So I think I'm going to make a nice shock damage spell. I'm going to try and get a good balance here of how much damage I can do. I want to see how much I can do on touch first off, because you see that makes it cost a lot less. So it costs 19 points and has an 89% chance to cast. If I go to target, it costs 10 points more and has 10% less chance of successfully casting. And instead of doing 1 to 7 or 7 to 7, if you do like 1 to 15, you tend to get better stuff out of that. So, but I don't like there to be too much variation in my spells. So if I was going to do something like this, it would be like 8 to 10 over 5 seconds or something like that. So that would be between 40 and 50 points on touch, and it's at a 90% chance of casting, which I think is pretty good. So 8 to 10 points for 5 seconds. Because you throw 2 of those down, and then you can just back up while the damage layers itself on over the 5 seconds, and you can pretty much take care of yourself while that's happening. So I'm going to make 3 of these, 1 for each. They only cost 130, so I'm going to make 3 of these for... So let's try and let's do the average. Let's see if I go exactly to 9. Okay, so 18 and 90, or... Oops. Dang it. 18 and 90, so it's the same. So if I wanted to just take the average and get 45 points of damage every time, I could just do that, or I could just do 50. Let's just do 50, so it's for sure. Because it's only going to cost me 2 points more and have just a tiny bit less chance of casting. So there you go. Shock points, 10 points for 5 seconds. So the alternative to this would be just to be able to do it all at once. So let's remember, 21, 87. Now I'm going to go straight to 50 to 50. We'll see if it's worse or better than... Yeah. So you see, costs more, less chance to cast when it's all done at once. But if you do it over time, you can get the same amount of damage in, but it's cheaper to cast it, and you have a better chance of successfully casting it. So most of my spells are going to be damage over time. There we go. Shock damage 10 points for 5 seconds. Alright, so I need to make names for these. These are all on touch too, so... I'm going to call them all hand. Or how about... Yeah, we'll just do that. Electric hand. I could have called it Pikachu's Embrace, but... Nah. After Weeping Bell Hall, that wouldn't be outside the norm for this class, for this game. There you go, so Electric Hand. That's pretty good. Cost 100 or something to make. So now let's do Flaming Hand, and it'll be the same thing, except it'll be a 10 out of fire damage instead. And look at this. I'm actually better at this for some reason. I think fire damage is easier to cast. So I sort of laid down which one you would want to use out of the fire, frost, and shock, because it's a little bit it's a little bit weird. It's like fire is resisted by a lot of people in Morrowind, and frost is totally resisted by Nords. But like I don't think anybody fully resists shock, or even has a high shock resistance. But I think shock damage as a class is just harder to cast. So there's fire damage, 10 points for 5 seconds. Huzzah. Now I'm going to do frost. It's just so we have our options open. Because I mean, we can certainly afford to make these spells. There's no reason not to be, you know, have an advantage whenever we can. This way, if we have all 3 elements at our command, if we run across anything that we don't like, we can kick its ass in one of 3 ways. Glacial Hand? Is that how you spell glacial? Sure. That's alright. Okay, cool. So now let me see. Yeah, we only spent like a few hundred gold there. So let me show you the 3 of these spells. So here's Electric Hand. 100% chance of casting, costs 21 points. Fire only costs 15. And Shock costs... oh no, that's not it. Like Glacial Hand, there you go, costs 15. So you see Electric costs more. They made it that way because they know that it's a more effective spell overall. So I'm going to throw it around with Frost most of the time. Unless we run across a Nord, I'll switch to Flaming, I guess. So if you have all 3, you're really just not going to use Electric very much, unless you find something that's weak to electricity. And I don't know offhand anything that is. I'm sure there are, I don't know. Okay, and now we need something to actually do damage spell at a distance. That's going to cost a little bit more. So you might have to go with a wider range of how good it is. So like 1 to 15 for 3 seconds or 5 seconds. Yeah. So this is on target. Costs about the same as last time, except we're getting between 5 and... actually, that's pretty good. So that's between 5 and 75. But the average is going to be like 35. And so it's like 15 points less on average than before. But yeah, so 1 to 15, that would average out at, what, 8? Costs the same. I might as well just do that. I don't know. I'm not much of a gambler, really, because I just feel like I have bad luck. So I feel like if I made a spell that had damage between 1 and 15, the way the game does it is it just randomly picks a number between 1 and 15, and it does that much damage for how many seconds you picked. So if it was between 1 and 15, it's going to be my luck that I'm going to drain all my magicka casting the spell, and I'm going to hit them like 2 or 3 times for 1 damage, for 2 damage per second, for 4 damage per second, and it's like, wow, I did so much. Where if I'd gotten 15 like 1 time, it would have killed them. And so it's just, I feel like I have bad luck. So there we go. So now we have 40 points on target. That helps keep the cost down a little bit. So what is this? I'm just going to call the other ones Finger instead, because it's like you're pointing at them. Glacial Finger. That's the Frost. And then Fire. Fire is going to be Flaming Finger. That's kind of funny. Like Flaming Lips. There we go. And of course these could have Area of Effect, but that makes them so expensive. Oh my god. It's I don't know what I don't actually know the formula offhand, but there's a formula for calculating how much a spell is going to cost. That's the one the game uses to determine it, and not only in terms of price, but also in terms of magicka cost. It's there we go. So we just spent about 600, 700 gold, maybe a little more than that, probably 800 or so on these spells we have now, but now we have a very wide array of things we can do. So we have all 3 elements at different distances. So I'm going to hang out with Glacial Hand most of the time, I think, but we'll switch them out as needed. Nords I'll be hitting with fireballs from a distance. Just as an exercise, let's see here if...
I suppose it is my duty to help those less fortunate than myself.
Let's see how much like a target spell... Dang it, I keep going past it. That does like 10 damage, but let's do it in like... yeah, see if you get a wide radius in like 50 feet, that's just going to do a huge fireball. Not a really powerful one, but a big one. So if you go up to like within 5, area of 5, like the spell chance is, wow, 101? What? How can I have a 101 chance of casting that? Oh, that's weird. I wouldn't expect that. But this is only 10 points of damage, right? So, not very good. So if we try to go for a second or 2, like 5 seconds, here you go. So this is 50 damage in 5 feet. So I guess it doesn't actually add that much of a cost, does it? But as you increase, you see it just costs a little bit more and has a little bit less chance to cast. Yeah, and then for the big spells, it's like negative chance, and you have it costs more than your whole magicka reserves, and a little bit crazy. So you have to find sort of a balance here. I typically don't like to use area of effect spells. I find that they don't come in handy very often. Maybe it would be good to have 1 though. I'll make 1. I'll make it with shock, so it's versatile. I'll do it just like I had that other one, right? Let's do 10 for 5 seconds in 5. I don't know if it's meters or feet or what. It's just 5 area. Yeah, so 75% chance of casting it. I don't know, man. Electric ball. How about electric fist? No, that's okay. So 10 points for 5 seconds in 5 feet. Yeah. So wherever it hits, it does damage in that whole radius. All right, cool. So what were we doing? What were we doing? Should we go make some more money? Should we? Oh, let's go over to the Fighters Guild and do some training.
What assistance do you need?
Let's get crazy. Go get training in medium armor again. That way, the next time we go out adventuring, which will probably be in the next video, I can
I've heard a lot of
just level up whenever I need to, and I don't have to worry about. Ah! I'm a sleeper, one among thousands. I bring you a message. Dagoth calls you, Poncho, and you cannot deny your lord. The sixth house is risen, and Dagoth is in its glory. Go away. I don't know what you're even talking about right now. It's just weird. Alright. Let's get our drain and spell out. Get ready to go. Do-do-do-do-do. So that's 1. So I'm only doing this for endurance because I think it's an important stat to get your health high. I could be doing this for like 3 different things at every level, but I think that's a little excessive for me. I'm not that much of a perfectionist. It's not a big deal to me. Look at all the skills we're increasing. We're already about halfway to level 4. It's nice. Very nice. Armorer is just so damn expensive to raise. Block is going to be slow as well, but whatever. We need to get some illusion in here. I gotta buy a little illusion spell so I can start practicing that. Because we need to get better at illusion so I can do sneaky stuff later on. The rest of this stuff will work its way around. What about alchemy? Do I have an unlock spell? Yeah, I have Unduzzi's Open Door, which is a pretty good unlock. Actually, I should go back to the spellmaking girl and make some more spells soon, because I'd like to have a few more things here. I'd like to have an open door that does up to like 100. And then I'd like to have a couple other things like the paralysis, and I guess as we use recall and mark more and more. Maybe I can get a good shield spell. That would be nice. I don't know. I've never really played defensively, so it would be weird for me. Okay, so that's 1. Oh, crap. I just increased block. Oh, well. Can I, whoops. My mistake. So, we'll get an extra point in block this level, whatever. Since we're not wearing medium armor, it's going to be on increments of 5, so I guess I'm going to 35 here. Casting this spell pretty successfully, though. That's good. Maybe we're getting better at this. Oh, now we're out of magicka. So I'm just going to sleep. I guess I have to go downstairs to where the beds are. That's fine. That is fine with me. Oop, the door opens the other way. Until healed. Now, I don't think that you'll be attacked by the assassins if... What?
Omnipotent, omniscient, sovereign, immutable. How sweet it is to be a god.